Hey, what's up, y'all? So the WWE 2K25 trailer just dropped today, and initially I wasn't going to do a video on this, but then I watched the trailer and I got really excited. I think this trailer is really good. If you've not seen this trailer, go to IGN. They have exclusive access to this trailer, and you could go watch it there and then come back here because it's not going to be a reaction video. I already seen it. This is more going to be a breakdown and maybe make some predictions, and we'll see what happens. First, I got to put on my glasses because I can't see without them. So anyway, so here is the cover athlete Roman Reigns, and I mean, always the graphics have always looked really good. I had no problem with the graphics. So the Sequoia looks much better in this version as well. And Randy Orton has always been one of the best character models within the game, and there's no different right here. That almost looks like real life Randy Orton. Okay, so I'll scroll through this a little bit. It's just getting showing off the graphics, which always looks really good, and the presentation. Right here. Here's the first mode that they're kind of showing. New brawl environments. So as you can see, backstage, right here, she is throwing a traffic cone at her. I don't recall there being you are able to throw it like that. Maybe you could. I don't remember. But anyway, I noticed that there is an ambulance right there. I don't know if that's just part of the environment or you kind of use it. Maybe you could open up the doors, slam the doors against your opponent. Maybe once you're finished, that ambulance is going to take your opponent out. Maybe it's an ambulance match too. Anyway, and what I really like is right here when she is throwing her and they're kind of like interacting with the environment. I love that. They kind of did it before, but I don't recall them ever doing it to this extent. I'm kind of curious, like how much it'll be, how much environments can you interact and use against your opponent. But so far that is really cool. I really like that. Okay, so and here's part of the intergender match. I'm gonna have fun with that one. Okay. The Bloodline Dynasty. So this is a part of the new showcase for this year where you can relive and rewrite history as part of the Bloodline. So sounds like to me where you could either reenact what actually happened, or you can completely change history and have whoever didn't win. So you could just completely rewrite history. Like I wonder if you could play last year's WrestleMania and have Roman win. That would be pretty fun. And here's what got people talking right here is people are wondering and speculating if there's going to be a first-person mode, or maybe in the cutscenes you could switch for it to be perfect first-person mode, or maybe this is just part of the mode. Maybe this is just part of the cutscene where it just switches automatically to this first-person view of the Undertaker choke climbing the Rock, or maybe you could just play around with it and you could have the Rock's point of view, you can have the Undertaker's point of view, maybe you can have Paul Heyman's point of view or the ref's point of view. Or maybe you can have the crowd's point of view. That'd be cool too. If I had to guess though, and people are might be disappointed with this, I think this is just part of the cutscene. I think it's just going to automatically switch. We're not going to have any control over it. But who knows? Maybe there is going to be a first-person mode. Maybe there is. You are going to be able to play around with this and switch to different point of views that you see. But you know, that would be really cool if you could switch to different modes, to different point of views. Now, here's part of the underground and bloodline rules. I'm not quite sure what the underground rules are. But the bloodline rules is basically just like Street Fight, right? So, or maybe the bloodline members will come out, or maybe surprise entrances will come out, and there'll be like 6 guys out in the ring wrestling each other. But other than that, it kind of feels like like a street fight. But we'll see. We'll see exactly what they mean by bloodline rules and how does it how does it differ from the street fight mode? Um, okay. Now this is part of the My Rise, and it's kind of interesting. This right here, like, is this like are they putting magic into this? Is it like MCU Doctor Strange kind of thing? But one thing I did notice was that he is stepping on something kind of like a stool. So is this kind of like going to show you the behind the scenes of WWE where they're filming this, and then later on they're going to put uh, special effects in it? That would be kind of interesting. I think some people like it, some people won't like it. But when it says your personality, your journey, and it's kind of showing the NWO, are you basically going to be able to forge your own path and personality into it and create your own factions? And your story is going to kind of shift based on whether you're a heel or a face or the different actions that you take. Because my opinion on the My Rise is initially when they first announced it, I thought this was going to be like a My Career mode. And I was disappointed when it was just essentially just a story, a road to WrestleMania story, or a story based on what the story they wrote for this character. But it was still enjoyable. It just wasn't quite what I was expecting in terms of the My Rise. Um, but I'm kind of curious what this mode will be, and I'm sure I'll still enjoy it. I just don't think it's going to be the career mode that I was hoping for when they first announced it. Of course, they first announced it like years ago. Chain wrestling is back. I do really like chain wrestling, so I'm glad they're bringing it back. We kind of know what to. Actually, let me kind of look back. It looks a little bit different. I don't recall it being like this. Um, so since Roman has the edge right there, so you could seem like he could switch to a pin, or maybe you could. And yeah, this looks a little bit different than from what I remember. Okay, so let's scroll past this. Now here's my GM. So my GM has always been a very fun mode. And I was kind of wondering if, since they're incorporating online now, how that's going to work. So the great thing is, if you want to play locally against a human or an AI opponent, you can do that. But if you want to play online against friends or an AI, you can also do that. Which is kind of interesting that they're also putting online, they're putting AI opponents on online, because isn't that kind of like the same as locally, except it's online? And what if your connection goes off? Then you can't play online. Then you can't play your My Jam. So I'm not exactly sure what the point in that is, but anyway, it's still a cool option. Actually, that's the point right there. Is that you could have multiple GMs and select to be an AI. So there are normally 3 shows in the WWE: SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. This one has a 4th show, so I'm kind of curious if you could create your own show. Maybe you could create AEW and put them in there. And I also love the different selections in the GMs. You could have the normal guys, which is like Nick Aldis, Alpha Pierce, Ava Rain, or you could have some of the classic guys like Mick Foley or Eric Bischoff, William Regal, Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman, Teddy Long. You could have all those other guys as well as options to be a GM. In my opinion, Teddy Long is the best GM. I'll always have a nostalgia against Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff. I thought they were my 2 favorite GMs. But I love that you could select on what GM that you want for your different mode, for your different show. But I'm very curious if you could like create your own show and then have it compete with the other shows. Okay, so this is kind of cool. You could choose whatever match that you want. So now I was kind of looking at this right here. I'm kind of curious what season is. Does season mean that this is ongoing forever until you want to stop? Or is this kind of like how online has different seasons modes, and they're just going to have different. See, I'm not really an online player, so I don't really know too much about how that works. But I'm really hoping that this is online, and that's just the first season. And when they switch to the next season, it's going to be when they switch to the next season, it's going to be like they're going to have the draft, and it's going to be like a completely new season, probably after WrestleMania. But yeah, and show logistics, I believe it probably is just showing you different statistics around the different shows, and yeah, I'm very excited about this to delve into this my GM mode. Okay, kind of like showing more into it. You can have an opener, whatever you want, self promo. You can simulate the show or play it yourself. GM assistant. I guess the GM assistant could very well um, kind of like help you with the show. That's cool. I like that. Okay. What is? Okay. I'm sorry. I was just kind of looking through this. Like, what exactly is this? Like, what's pop? That's probably popularity. What's stamina? Stamina. Okay. Sorry. I spent way too much time on that part trying to figure out what's going on there. My faction. I've never really played my faction, so I'm not exactly sure what that is. But this got me interested. Like, it kind of looks like an RPG. So maybe I'll check it out in WWE 2K24 and see if I like it. Introducing World Tour. I don't know what this is either. Seems like it's brand new. Um, but yeah, I don't really have much to say on this my faction since I didn't really play too much of it in the other versions of it. But I'm thinking about trying it now. So this is where they kind of tease the island mode, but they still don't give much information about it. And W2K25. So I really like what I've seen in this trailer. There's so much great things about it. It seems like this is a massive improvement. The game looks great. The presentation looks great. It seems like they're adding a lot of new things. But of course, in the end, that is what a trailer is supposed to do. So it's supposed to get you hyped. It's supposed to get you excited for it. And we've seen before that the 2K game sometimes isn't always polished. So I'm still going to wait until I see more reviews. I'm going to be getting it on the 14th. So other players will get a full week to try it and let me know if this game is worth it. Because I'm not going to be spending however much money is for the other version just to get it a week early. But I've nothing against anyone wanting to get it a week early. That is just for me, or wanting to spend that much money. That is just for me. But I do like that they're giving the kind of like an incentive to pre-order 2K25 plus game 2K24 digitally if you don't have it already. But yeah, as I said before, I am really excited for this. I love what I'm seeing in this 2K25 trailer. I did not get 2K24 on day one. I waited about 6 months and then I got it for sale for like $20 or something. But this one, if this is as good as it looks, I'm going to be getting it on the 14th. But how about you? Do you like what you've seen? Are you excited for this version of are you excited for 2K25? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I want to thank you for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.